Hello, hello again. Welcome to another exotic encounter adventure. Today we're going to talk about turtles, you guys. Now it is close to summertime. For some of you it might be summertime and you're already on your summer break. But it gets really, really hot in the summer, doesn't it, you guys? Oof. I have to tell you, out here where I am in South Carolina, it gets so hot out here in the summer. If you crack an egg out on the street, it'll cook. That's how hot the ground is. Now, because of that reason that it's so hot outside, a lot of the times when we're out driving with our families, you'll find turtles in the road. Now, a lot of people, when I ask them, why are the turtles in the road? They tell me because they want to get to the other side. It's not like the chicken joke. The turtles are in the road because it's so hot. It feels good. They're soaking up all the sun's yummy, wonderful rays. They like the heat because they are cold-blooded. Not like us, we're warm-blooded. So we wouldn't want to slay out in the street, besides the fact that it's super, super dangerous to be out in the street. So a lot of the times I pull over and I get out carefully and I help save the turtles and I move them. Have any of your parents ever done that? Have you ever had your mom or your dad pull over to go move a turtle out of the road? Now you have to sometimes be careful because you don't know what kind of turtle it is. But I will tell you, one day I was driving home from a camp that I had just done a show for. And I'm so close to home and I see something in the road. And I couldn't quite tell because I was still far away what it was. But as I got closer and closer, I realized it was a turtle in the road, a little box turtle. So I pulled my big van over and I looked to make sure there was no traffic coming. And I went out to the street and I saw that there were cars coming. So I told the cars that were coming in my direction to stop. And they did because they saw I wanted to go and help this little turtle. But the cars coming from behind me, this big truck, it didn't stop. It kept going. And I have to tell you, it hit my friend here. This is Speed Bump. She is a box turtle, and it hit her. Poor little thing. Sent her flying into a yard. Didn't run her over, but it hit her so hard with those big, big wheels that she went whoosh into somebody's lawn. So I went and wanted to make sure she was okay. And I think she was just really, really scared more than anything. So my poor little pit here, my little Speed Bump girl, I picked her up. I put her in a box that I had in my car and I took her home. I wanted to make sure she was okay. But it turned out we kind of fell in love with her and we kept her. So Speed Bump, she actually is, as I said, a box turtle. Now when we hear the word turtle, we think of turtles in the water most of the time. She's not. She will go and she'll soak in water, but she can't swim. These turtles do not swim. They sink, you guys. So you'll never find them in deep, deep water. Okay? They do, however, like to bury themselves in leaves and dirt because it helps to keep them cool when they want to stay cooler when it's too hot, and they actually camouflage themselves that way. Now, Speed Bump's favorite thing in the whole wide world to eat are earthworms. Oh my goodness. I don't even get to drop them in her cage. She grabs them right off of my tweezers and she eats them up. She loves them. When I feed her little sister Pip in the next tank over, sometimes she tries to get through the glass, even though she can't, to get to them. And she does eat fruits and vegetables as well. Now, these little animals are pretty cool because their shells look kind of tie-dyed in color. No shell is the same. Every shell is completely different. Now, if you notice when I hold her, I'm kind of holding her like this, like a cheeseburger. But I'm not going to eat her, I promise. That keeps me safe from her head. Because what if she was a snapping turtle? I wouldn't want her head near my fingers now, would I? And it helps to keep her flat because if I turned her over, she might go to the bathroom on my feet, which would not be much fun. So, but I did say snapping turtle, didn't I? I think I did. Now hold on, you guys, because I happen to have one. Now I have one of the coolest. Now he's not peeing, he was in water. This is Oscar. And Oscar is an alligator snapping turtle. And these guys grow to be very, very big. Now, raise your hands if you've ever gone fishing. I love to go fishing. A lot of people like to use worms for their bait to put on their hook to catch their fish. Not me. I like to use hot dogs and stinky cheese. Oscar here likes to go fishing too. He's an excellent fisherman. And what he uses for bait is actually in his mouth. Now, he does have a tongue, and his tongue is black, just like his body. But inside his mouth, and I'm going to show you guys a picture, I call it a second tongue. It's not really a tongue, though. Inside his mouth, there's a little pink, looks like a worm almost, and he wiggles that around in his tongue. See how his mouth, which is, they actually call that a beak, is wide open. And as soon as something grabs onto that little pink wormy tongue of his, you know what he does? Remember, they're called snapping turtles. He snaps his beak closed to eat. Now, did you see how sharp that beak looks? Look at that point. Very, very sharp looking. Yeah, that would hurt. Now, Oscar's teeny weeny still, but he will grow to be a very big boy. How big do you think he's going to get? Believe it or not, Oscar's almost 5 years old. I've had Oscar since he was about that big. Now he's this big, and Oscar loves to gobble up fish. But I'm going to show you somebody that's at the Tennessee Zoo named Brutus. Look how big Brutus is, you guys. Look at that. Believe it or not, Oscar is going to grow to be that big. I still find that so hard to believe, but yes, even little Oscar can grow to be that big. Nobody knows. Half the time when those big snapping turtles are in the wild, especially if they're in the water, we don't see them. They blend in with all the sand, the rocks, the leaves, and the twigs that are down at the bottom of the ponds or the lakes that they're living in. So I'm going to see, we're going to try to see if I can get Oscar. Sometimes he does it, sometimes he doesn't. See if we can get him to open up his beak. Sometimes he's a little camera shy and he doesn't want to do it, and that's okay, Oscar. Here he goes. Oscar! Dum, da, da, dum. Look at that beak. I'm going to try to show you a side view. Can you guys see that? Here we go, that way. Look how pointy his beak is. That would definitely hurt if he bit me. I wouldn't want to get bit by that. No way, Jose. So you guys, thank you for joining me today and visiting with my critters at Exotic Encounters. And I will see you next time for another Exotic Encounter.